program is 2 movements from Dvorak's Terzetto. Now, it's been interesting for us, since we don't have a cellist as part of the fellowship, finding repertoire that just the strings can play for themselves without having that bass instrument. Because there are a lot of string trios that are written for violin, viola, and cello, but nothing, well, not too much anyway, that are written for 2 violin and viola. So this was really the only piece that we knew of, all of us. We've since found a few more by Kodai and Izai, which we're looking forward to delving into. But this is the most popular piece written for this specific arrangement. It was written in 1887, and actually Dvorak was inspired to write it because he was listening to a friend of his teach one of his students, and Dvorak did play the viola, and so he wanted to write a piece that all 3 of them could play together. Now, he got a little bit too excited in his composition and made it too difficult for the students, so ended up writing the 4 violin romances for violin and piano for that student, and then performed it with a group of pure professionals. But this is the first 2 movements, so it's the introduction to Allegro, and then we'll end with the second movement, the Larghetto. Please enjoy.
So the last piece we
Oh,
had.
no, we have Beethoven first.
Oh.
You're not on.
Get back in there.
You don't get to play yet.
So I love that they played the Dvorak because so you got to see that combination of two violins and viola. And what Beethoven decided to do is to replace one of the violins with flute. This is Beethoven's Serenade for Flute, Violin, Viola, Opus 25. So it's an early work of his, and it's actually his only chamber work that he wrote for flute. So I'm thrilled for that reason. After that, he got kind of obsessed with the string quartet. So that kind of took over, string quartet and piano, and his symphonies. So I find this work, many scholars say it's a casual work, and I would argue that I don't think anything Beethoven wrote was casual. So it's a 7-movement work, and he really explores a lot of different forms. So there's theme of variations, minuet, kind of an entrada, trumpet fanfare type of thing. And the last movement that we have is a rondo for you. So there's a short adagio, which is slow and very beautiful, very chorale-like, and then we'll go into the vivace for the end. And I love that he describes it. He says allegro vivace e disinvolto, which means a very lively, quick tempo, but uninvolved. I just find that very funny. And you'll see it's very much not uninvolved. It is very involved. And so I think that he just was mocking something with this piece. There isn't a lot of literature about it, but I find it to be a very funny and humorous piece. So I hope you enjoy it. Yeah.
turn now?
No.
All right, so our next piece we're going to play, the last piece we're going to play, is called Divertimento by Malcolm Arnold, and it's written for clarinet, flute, and oboe, which luckily we have that instrumentation. Normally, like the strings, we also don't have a bass instrument for the woodwind group, where we're missing a bassoonist. So it's kind of tricky to find a piece that's written for 3 melody instruments. You know, our range is very high, so normally we're the melody instruments in various chamber music groups and orchestras as well. But Arnold wrote this piece, and Arnold is an English composer. He was 32 when he wrote this piece, and he was mostly known for his film scores, operatic music, ballet, so very character-type pieces, and that's exactly what these 3 pieces are. Each movement, 6 movements in total, each movement has its own very unique and special character along with it. So, okay.
And something that's just interesting, I think he really highlights the character of each instrument, how different they can sound, but then he also will put us in a very unison line to kind of create another sound with all the instruments combined. So it's a very, really interesting use of color. And we're trying to come up with images for each of the movements, so you guys can help us.
If you have any ideas,
If you have any ideas.
if the movement evokes a certain imagery or setting for you, let us know.